It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. I just received an email asking me to review a specific blog post. This blog post was published by Ahmad Maish, and let's see if I can find a date on it. It is an interesting article. It looks like it was published in June of 2022. And it talks about the team lead and their responsibilities. So, I guess to start, I'll start off with the definition of team lead. So, the team lead is the person who provides guidance and instruction to a team about a project or a portfolio of projects. Sometimes people call it a tech lead or an engineering lead or a lead software engineer or a principal tech or principal engineer. These people usually are the same role. Um, and they're not necessarily someone who has people responsibilities, but they serve to be the inspiration for others and to help them get things done and help them get things in line. So they sort of cross over where they can actually contribute to the architecture and design of the software. They can lead the development process in a team, and they can mentor their teammates. And right where those intersect is usually a good place for you to call out who the team lead is. So when you're thinking about people who are taking on an engineering career, he goes on to say engineering careers are usually split up at this position depending on two factors: the type of software the company, the type of software company rather, and the focus of that person. If it's going towards people wise or technical wise, the technical one might continue to work as an architect or a senior architect. The technical one may even work as a CTO at some point. While one is focusing on managing people, and that'll continue to be a focus, an engineering manager, a senior engineering manager, a director of engineering, or finally a VP of engineering may have a different focus altogether. So, I guess what he's trying to say here, and yeah, he does say it right here. Also, that depends on the company size, where there is a need to have some of the positions on that path. So he goes on to describe this, and so far, so good. He's doing a good job. However, in some companies, a team lead may work as an engineering manager, and in some others, they might be an architect. And also in some others, they may put on multiple hats at the same time, which is a nightmare. But I think the point that he's trying to make here is just that while team lead position is not called out, it actually does exist, but should it? Right. And I guess in order for us to understand whether it should exist, we need to kind of evaluate what a team lead does. So, what are their skills? If I'm trying to find someone to hire as a team lead, what am I looking for? Well, I'll start with in depth knowledge about whatever technology or stack you're using. This person needs to feel comfortable engaging with and talking about the technology stack, what they're doing, how they write code, how they cut expenses, what type of things they're working on. All of those things matter for an IT lead or for a dev lead. The second is like any other leadership position, a team leads need excellent communication skills. This is the one that you're going to find that transcends every role and every responsibility. Those communication skills are imperative, important, and need to be mastered. Have a leadership attitude that inspires all of the other team members. Other people need to be drawn to your charisma and they need to be inspired by your words. Have the right mindset to simplify complex implementations. Deliver more by doing less. Little's law. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, I can beat this one to death. This is the one that rings true to me and stands out the most to me about everything I've read so far. So wonderful job that you included Little's law in here. Humble to admit mistakes, but at the same moment, being firm and fair. I like this one because I think that admitting mistakes is not always someone's strong suit. But if you're humble enough to admit, hey, I made a mistake and I'm wrong, you need to figure out the best system of approach to not only admit that you were wrong, but to correct the issue and to get everybody pointed towards that north star again, to get everybody moving in the right direction. How about this person should be flexible enough and be adaptable enough to the changing and varied varied work set varied work settings. This is just too funny. So I'm gonna read that one more time. Should be flexible enough and adaptable to the changing and varied work settings. This person needs to be able to shift and pivot when necessary and help people be successful. They also need to be able to manage the targets and expectations for the team. So it's kind of a balancing act, right? So you want to make sure that as they go through, that they understand that they are responsible for leading the development process. They're responsible for planning out tasks and discovering and discussing and giving their opinion on how to implement stories, helping with the splitting up or breaking stories into detailed tasks, adding technical notes, giving time estimations when necessary, or I shouldn't say time because I don't want them to give time estimates. When I'm saying time estimates, I guess I'm saying from a leadership perspective, forecasting estimates, I guess the better way to put it, because I'm sure this person didn't mean like time based estimation. Reviewing code. So they need to check that the code is short and readable and that everything's in place. They need to make sure the implementation is achieving the end goal, the requirements. And they need to make sure that tests locally and in suites are doing the things they need to do. This person should be managing releases, keeping branches up to date, merging tech stacks, reviewing merge requests, tagging things as needed, organizing the work, prioritizing what's being done, delegating when necessary, checking and resolving blockers and issues, contributing to architecture and design, mentoring their teammates and lifting people up to help build future leaders. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this article covers a lot of what a dev lead or a team lead does, but it's interesting to me because I feel like a lot of these responsibilities should be delegated across other people who are on the Agile team and on a Scrum team so that they can truly execute in a way that makes sense and so that they can make certain that they're staying focused to their personal and professional goals and helping build team members instead of doing everything for them. That's going to do it for this episode. If you have a topic you want us to cover, feel free to reach out to us at learnmore@agiledad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.